Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, September 14th, and we have just a fantastic weekend coming up. So again, if you have any outdoor plans, you couldn't ask for a better weekend, so do take advantage. Don't let this summer weekend pass you by in the mirror. And again, we expect just a fantastic weekend with lots of sunshine and highs in the 80s, maybe even in the mid 80s on Saturday. If you plan to take a drive along the ocean front down in Florida, well, many areas, just like homes, many of the roads also in bad shape, and again, they're going to be weeks and months recovering from this storm, and much of the southeast for that matter. You can see on the satellite, if we take a look at the last 7 days, you can see Hurricane Irma moving up the Florida coast, up into the south central states, and then finally now beginning to move off to the northeast quite rapidly, and that system would be long gone. But you can see there's Hurricane Irma, there's Jose. And again, Jose is still playing around out here in the Atlantic, and still may possibly be a threat to some degree to the United States. And you can see we even had a third hurricane moved into Mexico. But for us right now, you can see a large area of high pressure basically outside of this hurricane dominating much of the central U.S. as we expect ridging to really build here in the eastern U.S. with a big trough out west, and that's going to reverse our pattern from being cool, and we're going to be quite warm. You can see on radar some of the effects of Irma still even influencing southwest Ontario, even in portions of southeast lower Michigan. A few light sprinkles or showers over the last 24 hours. And as far as precipitation, really the only one of any measurable amount is St. Thomas, picked up 100th, but no doubt some showers fell, maybe even several areas, maybe picking up a little more than that. Thought maybe we'd see some measurable precipitation across some of our stations down south. That didn't happen, but this morning you can see temperatures are quite mild in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees, so a nice start to the day, and that's going to allow us to warm up around 80 degrees today. As far as the tale of two cities, Breckenridge and Middleton, both in the same county, Gratiot County, Breckenridge in the northeastern portion, Middleton in the southwest. Breckenridge picking up 13.42 inches of rain with 50 days with at least 1/100 of an inch of measurable precipitation. Contrast that to Middleton, only 8.41 inches with 38 days where they had measurable precipitation. And you can see kind of the sprite chart that kind of compares the amount of days along with the amounts and when they occurred. Kind of a neat little chart there, and we'll have more of the MAC locations featured in the coming days here as far as precipitation. On the weather map this morning, you can see high pressure systems now dominating much of the country. The upper system that was Hurricane Irma now moving off to the northeast. These systems to the west will stay that way as high pressure controls the area. Will force these systems up to the northeast, up around and away from the Great Lakes, and we should say high and dry right on through the weekend. And you can see on Friday, it looks like high pressure system now over the Howe Valley. And again, that's going to keep these systems off to our west, and they'll move to our northwest away from the Great Lakes. Maybe as we get in towards Sunday, we may see it get close enough to maybe bring a few showers. But again, high pressure will be in control. And throughout the weekend into early next week, fairly warm weather pattern with highs in the 80s over the weekend. Maybe only in the 70s for next week, but there'll be nice mild 70s. Certainly no big weather events expected right now, although as we get into the middle or end of next week, we should see precipitation amounts increase. But over the next 3 days, high and dry for lower Michigan and southwest Ontario. This system slides off to the southeast. The biggest precipitation makers are going to be across the far western UP, back into Minnesota, the Dakotas, and out into Montana, Wyoming, where they could actually see some pretty decent snows in the Rockies, as again that big trough develops out west and we get warm ridging in the east. Over the next 7 days, you can see a little bit more in the way of precipitation, much of this coming towards the middle of next week and beyond as we continue in a warm, wet pattern. As far as the extended outlook, so you can see for temperatures, we're going to be warmer than normal right down through both the 6 to 10 and the 8 to 14 day periods as we expected, where we're going to see probably around mid-month. We had forecasted that we begin to see temperatures warm up. And so while we're 1.9 degrees below normal for the month of September, we've caught up on that, and this month will end up above normal, and we should start the month of October as well, looks like, on a fairly warm note. As far as precipitation, near to a little bit above normal, as we begin to see moisture finally begin to increase back into the area as we get towards the middle or end of next week. As far as weather watch this morning, just some areas of dense fog from southern and south central, southwest lower Michigan over into southeast Wisconsin, much of Illinois, and northwest Indiana. And out to the northwest, out towards Minneapolis, St. Paul, they're actually getting some air quality issues due to temperatures around 90 degrees, lots of sunshine, and smoke coming from the wildfires out west. As far as the forecast goes for today, again, at least we may have to push this closer to 80 degrees, but certainly mid to upper 70s, and then we'll be into the 80s, maybe the mid 80s on Saturday, and at least the low 80s on Sunday, with a chance of a widely scattered shower perhaps for Sunday and into Monday, with temperatures only slipping back into the 70s, which would still be around normal. So again, enjoy the pure Michigan sunshine summer-like weekend coming up. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.